What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. Today's video is a special one. I want to bring you a little bit closer into this C32 AMG right here. If you guys are new to the channel, this would be the perfect video for you to know exactly all the cosmetic mods I've done and performance mods I've done as well. And those of you that are not new to the channel, you guys have already seen all the modifications we've done in the previous video. So we'll go ahead and dive in real quick here. We'll start out with the exterior modifications and then we'll move on to the interior and then performance modifications. First thing I want to point out are the wheels on the car. These are 18-inch wheels, 18 by 8.5, and I'll show you guys the company that I went with here. These, I don't want to butcher the name, but these are Enkei wheels. I've heard a lot of people say it different ways, so I don't want to butcher it, but these are the wheels I went with. 18 by 8.5. These wheels look fantastic on the car. The tires I'm running on here are 225 40 18s in the front and 255 40 18s in the rear. They grip pretty good. They're not the best tires for super high performance because they're all season tires, but they're still pretty grippy and they still do their job. The more I keep putting more power in this car, obviously we would have to upgrade the tires, but I am fine with these tires because this is my daily, so that's what I'm rocking with. And man, these wheels look so good on the W203. In addition to the wheels, I have a 10mm spacer in the front here. I'll show you guys the fitment real quick. It's pretty flush, honestly. So 10 in the front, the rear, no spacers at all. So those are the specs on the wheels and the spacers. Oh, also guys, I forgot to mention, I did install lug studs on the car. These are great for just all around spacers and wheel setup. Don't have to worry about, you know, bolt sizes, because most of the time, if you're trying to get spacers or trying to figure out your wheel setup, it's a one-time deal where you can, you know, slap any spacer on there or any wheel and don't have to buy extra bolts. Trying to figure out, you know, are the bolts too long for the rear because they might touch the emergency brakes. Studs are just so much easier. All right, so moving along here, I want to show you guys the rear real quick. So I've got a rear spoiler that I'm rocking on the trunk. It's a matte black spoiler that I have on here. Pretty cheap. I didn't want to go carbon fiber because I blacked out the badges and they were matte black, and so I decided to go with a matte black, you know, spoiler, and it actually looks fantastic. I want to say this would probably be the best thing you could get for your W203. For some reason, it just gives it a very aggressive look. All right, so that's that with the spoiler, and I did mention the badges, and I'll show you guys real quick. So that's the other exterior modification I did. You guys can kind of get the theme of what I'm going with the car, but looking at the badges here, the V6 compressor has been blacked out. Those are replaced. They were chrome. The rear as well, I replaced them. They were chrome, and so that ties in perfectly with the spoiler. The other thing it ties in with is the license plate cover as well. I got that rocking, and the next thing, I also blacked out the chrome right here all over the car. So those chrome trims, you guys are probably wondering what I did. I did end up taking all these pieces out and wrapping it matte black, and this is the result. It's not hard to do, but it's pretty time consuming, and it's worth it if you guys are going for this kind of theme on a silver car. But looking at the trunk, obviously everything's blacked out. No more chrome all around. So after doing all these chrome deletes, I looked at the car and I was like, you know what? It's definitely missing something. So what I ended up figuring out was the grille. the grill had black in the inside, but the outsides were chrome. So I went ahead and blacked it out. I didn't buy a new grill because it's a lot cheaper to black it out yourself. So I went ahead and blacked it out with Plasti Dip. Plasti Dip is probably one of the best things you could do blacking out chrome. So blacked out the grill and also blacked out the hood vent as well. When I blacked out the grill, the hood vent was still silver, and I looked at it and I was like, nah, it's not right. So that has to be blacked out as well. Did that, and I mean, it turned out great. Just looking at the car from this angle is just absolutely beautiful. So with all that, the car was looking great. The only thing that wasn't really looking good were the suspension. This car, it had a huge gap in the front, and the rear looked pretty lowered because of the tire specs. So what I ended up doing was lowering the car on H&R springs. It drops the car about an inch, but honestly it drops it more than an inch. So that's what I have rocking on the front, H&R springs, and the rear, they're still stock springs and I believe stock shocks, but the fronts do have Bilstein B8 Performance Plus shocks. So those pair great with lowering H&R springs, and that's what I have going on at the moment. And it really transformed the way the wheels look on the car, and as well as the handling as well. Obviously you guys know that. That is the last bit I did with the exterior. I don't think I've missed anything on the exterior, but this is pretty much how the car looks. I do want to add on to the exterior, and I think I know what I want to do next. Definitely a front lip, carbon fiber front lip, either carbon fiber or matte black front lip. I think I'll probably just go matte black. It might be a little cheaper. And I want to paint the calipers. The only thing is I don't know what color I want to go with the calipers. I thought about gold flake or red. Red is pretty common, but it looks really good on silver and black. And the other was like fluorescent yellow. That's what I have rocking on the CLK. But if you guys have any suggestions for the caliper color, let me know down in the comments down below so I can decide and go from there. But I think that's what I'm gonna be doing, and probably maybe side skirts, we will see. And that would be pretty much it for the exterior. So moving on to the interior, there's not that much I've done to it, but I'll show you guys what I've done. So looking in here, the pedals right here were pretty much, it had a black look to it, and I went ahead and swapped them out with the silver, and I think it just gives it a more nicer, sporty look. And that's pretty much it with the pedals. The interior, I went ahead and got these AMG seat belt badges, and I have one in the front here and one on the other side. That's pretty much for the interior modifications. Honestly, there's not that much to do in the interior. I really like the way the interior looks. The only thing really I can think of is getting a flat bottom steering wheel and upgrading the radio unit here to some sort of CarPlay or CarPlay / Android device. But this car has the Bose system. Whoops, I turned that on. This car has the Bose system, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated to do the radio unit. Let's go ahead and move on to the performance modifications I've done. I mean, wheels do tie in with performance and lowering springs, but in terms of like the engine management, we'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. So this is the engine bay. First thing I want to talk about is the catch can right here. This is the best thing you could ever do to your engine or to your car. This pretty much catches all the bypass oil that the car doesn't burn, bypass fuel vapors, and keeps your engine pretty much clean. You don't want that stuff in your intake manifold, or if you have a supercharger, you don't want that stuff in your valve stems and piston heads. The catch can catches and keeps it clean, so the car keeps its, you know, power, torque, and longevity. But this is pretty much one of the best things you could do to your car, especially if you run it pretty hard or track it. So that's that. Oil catch can, not expensive to do, about a $35 unit here, and some hoses and connect them. If you guys are interested in how to run that, I have a couple of videos on how to install it on your car. The other thing I have going on are these intakes. These are 3-inch intakes running to the throttle body, both on each side. So 6 inches, that's a lot of tubing and a lot of air for your supercharger. So I have that going on here, and it works fantastic. It works great. I really like how it makes the supercharger sound when you step on it, and it's a great modification to do if you want more air, especially on the M112K. The stock airbox is pretty restrictive when it comes to airflow, but a lot of people go with this setup or go with a cone filter at the throttle body. That works great as well. That's that with the air intake. So the other thing I did here was upgrade the pulley. I'm running a 64mm pulley from Ultimate Performance and Design and from Race IQ. Huge upgrade to the performance. This adds quite a bit of power to this car. It really wakes it up, especially when you pair it with a tune. Obviously, you're gonna need a tune once you upgrade the pulley. The ECU tune is from Race IQ. Race IQ, you know, have been around for a long time, and they made the fastest 32s years ago, and they are still around and still putting out tunes for these cars. If you guys need a tune from Race IQ, hit me up. I'll give you a discount code and you guys can go from there. Race IQ has really great tunes for these cars, so that's what I went with here. I also have a TCU tune from Race IQ as well. It's a stage 2 tune, very, very aggressive, very fast shifts, very huge torque management. This car loses traction whenever it shifts. You know, going from a dig or, you know, just roll racing. This thing is ridiculous. This stage is considered a stage 2 from Race IQ, the pulley and the air filter, and this thing really wakes up the car. It's crazy. It's night and day. Highly suggest these modifications on these cars. But TCU tune as well. If you guys need that tune, hit up Race IQ and they will hook you up with that. Again, you can use my discount code if you guys need any discounts from Race IQ. So that is it with the performance modifications, and I do plan on gaining more power with this thing. We're probably going to be looking in the future. Throttle body upgrade, I'm not sure what exactly I would go with. A lot of people go with the 82 or 83mm throttle body and the 92mm throttle body. 92 will be fantastic on this. Maybe leaning towards the 92mm throttle body. There are a few other modifications I want to do, also, you know, exhaust work, gain some power from it. If you guys are wanting to stay tuned for that stuff, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all that. I don't think I've missed anything at all, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys are really enjoying the content and you guys really actually enjoy the way this car looks and like the way it looks, you can definitely hit me up on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and I'll answer some questions for you guys. But that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Go ahead and smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care.